guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is a super exciting video because I am going to be updating my most popular YouTube video. Last year I shared with you guys some of my favorite men's colognes. It was titled the Sexiest Men's Colognes. So this year I am going to be doing an updated version and letting you know which scents in 2021 have been sending the ladies in a frenzy, okay? Having us in a chokehold. So these are all fragrances that I am absolutely loving at the moment, and ones that have been approved by other women that I have talked to, that I have shared these fragrances with. So this is nothing but absolute beast mode compliment getters, unique fragrances, definitely signature scent worthy. So before we get started with the list, I do want to share with you guys my honorary members. These are the fragrances from my 2020 video that have maintained their status and have made their way to my 2021 list as well. Those fragrances are Dior Sauvage, the original and the EDP, Bleu de Chanel EDP, Creed Aventus of freaking course, Meteor by Louis Vuitton, and Chez Bon by Bon No. 9. So congratulations, fellas, you have made it to the next round. Just an FYI, Creed Aventus and Meteor by Louis Vuitton will forever and always make it in my top 5 favorite men's colognes. I am gonna share with you guys my top 5 fragrances out of all of these that I'll be mentioning, maybe even like a top 6 if I'm feeling a little. So the first fragrance that we're gonna be talking about today is Oud for Greatness by Initio. Baby. It is just as sexy and smoldering and confident as its bottle. The bottle is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. It is breathtaking. It just screams money. It's so wealthy. It's so rich. Oh my goodness. In the top notes, you have saffron, nutmeg, lavender, you have oud in the middle note, and then in the base, you have patchouli and musk. A lot of times when I find a fragrance that has saffron in it, it almost always gives me some sort of resemblance to Baccarat Rouge. So I definitely kind of peep that in the undertone. The best way I could describe this fragrance is taking Baccarat, mixing it with Sauvage Elixir, and then adding another oud element to it. Now, for you frag heads out there, y'all might jump down my throat and say that Sauvage Elixir for oud for greatness? Look, I'm just trying to help the people understand how it smells without actually smelling it, okay? But it is an absolutely gorgeous fragrance. This is so freaking sexy. Like I said, smoldering. It is confident. It is demanding attention. You cannot be shy and wearing just whatever and having this on. It just doesn't make sense. I'm telling you, it's disgustingly good. But yeah, I definitely get that Baccarat vibe in the undertone. You always can kind of peep that saffron in it, like Instant Crush by Men. Sarah has that kind of Baccarat vibe to it. Spirito Fiorentino by Tiziana Terenzi also has that vibe. Definitely way more leathery than Baccarat, but you get it, you get it. This is like a sexy, more masculine, more spicy, more dynamic take on Baccarat, in my opinion. It is not a Baccarat dupe. It doesn't smell just like Baccarat, but it definitely has those kind of undertones in it. It's so smooth, it's sexy, and this is unisex, but it definitely leans more masculine in my opinion. Oh, I could talk about this fragrance forever, but baby, we have a super long list today. I'm telling you, I'm dropping the gems, honey, so we're gonna have to move on. Okay, so next we're gonna be talking about Percival by Parfums de Marly. Oh my gosh, this is by far my favorite PDM fragrance for men, by far. I know there's Leighton, there's Pegasus, there's both of the exclusives, and it's just like, how could you be choosing this one over that? It is so sexy and fresh. It's a very classic scent, very mass appealing. It is a gorgeous, citrusy, aromatic fragrance. You've got this juicy burst of lavender, bergamot, apple, mandarin in the opening. Absolutely stunning. Then it's paired with geranium, jasmine, and violet in the mid notes. In the base, you've got patchouli, gaiac wood, amber, vanilla, and pepper. And the pepper does give it a little oomph, that little masculinity to it that you need. Oh, this is so gorgeous. So sexy. Definitely, would I give this date night? It's giving date night, but it's giving casual date night. This is not, I would definitely lean more oud for greatness for, you know, a Valentine's Day, like 5-star restaurant, dressed to perfection, you know, but this is definitely a fresh, clean, sexy vibe. Love Percival. By far my favorite PDM men's fragrance. Next up, we have a gorgeous fragrance by the amazing and beautiful and unique house of Amouage. I just love Amouage as a house in general. They are so unique. It's actually the only fragrance line that comes from a royal family. They are out of Oman, which is a Middle Eastern country. Their actual fragrances are considered gifts for kings. So if you don't know the history behind it, basically Amouage fragrances were exclusively made for dignitaries and presidents and kings and queens who came to stay at the royal palace in Oman. By their bedside, they would have a fragrance, and they would be able to take this fragrance with them as basically a souvenir from coming to stay at the royal palace. So there's so much history behind this house. It is just absolutely gorgeous. The name Amouage means waves of love, so it's just super unique. And even the detail on the bottle, like on the women's bottle particularly, it has like this indent on the side of it that is supposed to indicate the waves. Just the attention to detail. The cap is a dagger that is worn on like a necklace, I guess you could say, by men in their country, and they wear it for special occasions like weddings, and it's a sign of strength. It's just so much detail. And then of course the Swarovski crystal in the cap. It's just gorgeous. The presentation, this is such a crisp, clean, classic, timeless fragrance. I feel like you can't wear this without a button up or something. Like, you have to be dressed up. It's very elegant. It just smells like a very well manicured man, just very bougie. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Super crisp. This is actually the #1 selling men's cologne by Amouage in the United States. So I think Interlude is their most popular globally, but in the US, this is the most mass appealing. And if you are familiar with Amouage fragrances, you understand why, because they are night and day. Everything in the collection is so unique, so different. I think that this is the perfect house to find a signature scent because it's very hard to access in the United States, or at least it was for a while. Now, Amouage is exclusively sold in certain Neiman's, a couple Bloomingdale's, Bergdorf Goodman in New York. Its scarcity makes it a true treat, you know? You're not gonna be in a room full of people and run into a common issue like you would with Sauvage or Bleu de Chanel, where everyone's wearing the same scent as you. This is so unique. And then when you take something like this and compare it to Interlude, which is vastly different, very animalic, very earthy, whereas this is very sparkling and crisp and fresh. And then you take something like Enclave, which is a minty fragrance. Like, it's just crazy how vastly different they are. They do not, you know how like Creed has a DNA and you kind of sense that in all of their fragrances? Nope. The most common thing you might find in an Amouage fragrance is frankincense, which is native to the land in Oman. So any brand that uses frankincense, they buy it from Amouage. Isn't that crazy? They are really the goats. So in the top notes of this, you have rosemary, red pepper berries, bitter orange leaves. Mid notes are neroli, jasmine, ylang ylang, orris. Base notes are vetiver, patchouli, sandalwood, cedarwood. This is smooth, this is suave, this is sexy, this is classy. I just picture white button up, some nice pants, some nice dress shoes. Next up, we have the new highly sought after Sauvage Elixir. Yes, you know it had to make it on this list because if you saw the video I did where I first talked about this fragrance, it wasn't necessarily an initial reaction, but just kind of sharing my thoughts on the fragrance with you guys, you could tell I was just in awe. This is a very sexy, smooth, almost oriental. I don't know if it's considered like categorized as an oriental fragrance, but I definitely get oriental vibes. And then it does have that mass appealing DNA of Sauvage in general. This definitely is a more date night, dark, heavier, sexier, more smoldering version of Sauvage. I think that this is what they were hoping to accomplish with the Parfum, which I was not impressed with. But I think that this certainly redeemed them from whatever it is that they thought they were creating with the Parfum. I was not really feeling it, I'm sorry. It really was the furthest away that they drifted from that original DNA of the EDT EDP. But this is so freaking sexy. Oh, it's so sexy. And it is perfect for the fall and winter because it's definitely not like a light, fresh type of scent. It's nothing like the original Sauvage, the EDT, that would definitely be more daytime, more summer, spring. Sauvage in general is an all year fragrance for me. The EDT and EDP, I feel you can wear in any weather, but this I think is definitely more suited for the cold. You have cinnamon, nutmeg, cardamom, and grapefruit in the opening. You've got lavender in the mid notes. In the base, you have licorice, amber, patchouli, Haitian vetiver, and sandalwood, of course. You gotta have a little suave smoothiness, a little woodiness to just bring it all home. It is absolutely gorgeous. I definitely have to give my kudos to Dior because they definitely redeemed themselves. Now this next one, this is one I more recently discovered. Shout out to Skylar because he is my ace boon coon. He brought me 2 Xerjoff discovery kits so that I could play around and really get to experience these fragrances, because if you know, it's so hard to get your hands on some Xerjoff in the United States. But baby, I have a treat for you today. Odin Overdose. Oh my gosh, if this is not one of the sexiest men's colognes I've ever smelled. This is so debonair, it's so rich, it's so intoxicating, almost as if it has pheromones in it. Just has a certain je ne sais quoi. It's so good, it's so fresh, and just it's just something about it, I'm telling you. And then the bottle, the presentation is just absolutely gorgeous. It's in this all gold bottle. It's just another one like Oud for Greatness, where the bottle definitely matches what is delivered in the actual scent. Oh gosh. In the top notes, you have this bright burst of citrus with this bergamot and this lemon, and then you have tobacco blossom and ginger in the mid notes, and then you've got amber and musk in the base. Forget about it. Absolutely gorgeous, very sexy. Again, this is one of those where you need to be dressed up. You cannot just put this on as an everyday fragrance. You pull this little weapon out on special occasions, okay? When you're trying to GTD, if you watch Martin, you know, get the draws. If you're trying to get the draws, stay tuned to the end for my top 5s. That's guaranteed GTD vibes right there. Next, we have my second favorite PDM fragrance for men. This is called Greenlee. This is an invigorating, fresh, clean, green smell. Oh my goodness, the name is absolutely perfect. The bottle is absolutely perfect. Honestly, I don't mean to say this to steer anyone away. I don't know how you feel about Irish Spring, but if you could take an Irish Spring so far and give it a more sexy, richer type of vibe, you would get this. I think it's like an elevated, glorified, better version of like an Irish Spring, crisp, fresh type of smell. Oh my goodness, it is so gorgeous. I definitely would want to bury my face in a man's neck if he had this on. It is so cozy. It's not even cozy in like a warm sense. You know how usually we say cozy talking about like cashmeres and vanillas and things like that. No, this type of cozy is just because it's like, babe, you just got out the shower, you smell so clean, I just want to inhale you, okay? This is so good. So good. This probably has to be like by far the best fresh, clean smell I've ever smelled in my freaking life. And y'all know I am a rider for the fresh and clean. Y'all know that I love that. So it takes a lot to be number 1 on my fresh and clean list. Like this is a woody citrus fragrance. You get that burst again in the opening with the Sicilian bergamot, the green apple, and mandarin. And then you've got like this cashmere woods in the opening as well. Then you've got some cedar wood and violet in the mid. You've got oak moss and musk in the base. I mean, these aren't even all of the notes, but just what's coming to me, and it's just gorgeous. Definitely get your nose on this fragrance. I'm telling you, you will not regret it, okay? Next up, we have a Vodka on the Rocks by Killian. Oh my goodness. You know how TLC has like crazy sexy cool? When I smell this, I think crisp sexy cool. That's exactly how I would describe this fragrance. It's not super loud and in your face. It's kind of like that man who flirts with his eyes and with his demeanor rather than his words. He has this very alluring and intriguing presence about him, like a Scorpio man. And it's just, the name is so suitable. It doesn't smell like vodka, but it has like that classicness of a man who orders, you know, vodka on the rocks. You know, keep it simple, straight to the point. It's like when you smell this, you can almost envision, you know, vodka being poured over the ice, and you hear like the sizzle of it, you know, melting the ice cubes as it... Let me stop because I could really go all day. In the top notes, you have coriander, you have cardamom, you have aldehydes. In the mid, you have lily of the valley, rhubarb, pink rose. In the base, you have oak moss, you have sandalwood, and ambroxan. This is so sexy. Definitely the type of vibe of the man that I described in the very beginning when I first smelled this. Like, just get that vision in your head, and that's what this is gonna smell like. Next up, we have Masculine Plurial, or Pluriel, however you say it. This is by MFK, and honestly, I think that this is the most masculine out of MFK's collection, in my opinion. This one and one other that will be mentioned in this video, I think are the most masculine, because in my opinion, almost all of MFK fragrances to me, although they are all unisex, definitely lean more feminine in my opinion, aside from the ouds. I think Oud Satin Mood is like a true unisex, but Oud Silk Mood definitely gives me more masculine vibes, and that is because it is a lot smokier than the sweetness that you get from Satin Mood. Another one of those fresh and cleans like you're gonna get from Greenlee. Nothing like Greenlee, but definitely that soapy clean type of smell, which I absolutely love on a man. I'm telling you fellas, women love that. Okay, you don't understand. Men really walk around here smelling like B.O., okay? So it speaks volumes to women and tell us a lot about you when you smell soapy clean, you know? Because it's one thing, it's very easy, you know? People can not shower and then slap on some deodorant and put on some freaking cologne, and they think we don't know the difference. But see, when you have that soapy clean smell, it's like, oh, you washed your butt today, didn't you? And this is not a substitution for a shower, so don't take it that way at all. Very intoxicating, very sexy. You've got vetiver, lavender, patchouli, some woody notes, cedar, leather. The leather definitely gives it that more masculine element to it. This is so good. This is by far my favorite for men in the MFK collection. Okay, next we have Lyric, which is another homme wash fragrance. This is a woody, spicy rose fragrance. So it is very floral, but it's still extremely masculine at the same time, which to me is a very hard accomplishment, okay? It is very hard for me to find floral fragrances that still have that masculine element, you know? Because I thought about including Mojave Ghost by Byredo, which is a fragrance that I absolutely love, but I definitely find that it, to me, just smells better on a woman than it does on a man. On a man, it just is too floral for me. But the scent itself is gorgeous, don't get me wrong. It just wasn't making it on my favorites for men. So this is a very divine, very elegant, very rich and mature fragrance. This is definitely not for everyone. This is one of those that you have to be a true fragrance lover to appreciate the beauty of this. It is so nice. In the top notes, you have bergamot and lime. In the middle notes, you have some rose, angelica, orange blossom, spicy ginger, saffron, nutmeg. In the base, you have pine, musk, frankincense, and vanilla, which I get no remnants of vanilla at all. I smell no vanilla in this. Yeah, this is straight up floral. I get the pine for sure. It's got a little bit of a green undertone, but more than anything, it is just floral and smoky. You definitely get that frankincense, but a little bit of powderiness as well. This is a fire freaking scent. Definitely get your nose on this one as well. Next up, we have a newer little contender. So it actually must be fire to make it to my list this quickly, because I just discovered this fragrance within like the last month or so. And this is Casanova by Tiziana Terenzi. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I have put so many guys onto this one recently, and it just smells exactly like its name. Casanova. It smells like a man who could get any woman he wants. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And every last one of them are gonna just throw the panties at him. Oh my goodness. It's so good. It's a powdery, another clean one. but it's also woody and ambery at the same time. So this one is loaded with notes. Therefore, I'm gonna have to pull these up, honey. Okay guys, so for Casanova in the top notes, we have powdery notes, fig leaf, orchid, bergamot, jasmine. Middle notes are ambergris, leather, myrrh, gaiac wood, cardamom, pink pepper, vanilla. Base notes are ambroxan, white musk, cedar, amber, vetiver, oak moss, tonka bean. Okay, you see why I couldn't name these on my own? It's too many. But this fragrance is so sexy, so clean. I definitely love it. I'm sorry I'm not gonna spend too much time talking about these. I really could talk about each of these fragrances all freaking day, but I need to get through this list. Next, we have my other favorite MFK fragrance for men. This is Gentle Fluidity Silver. So this one and Masculine Plurial, in my opinion, are the most masculine out of MFK's collections, aside from the Oud. It is so clean and good. This is a classic Chypre, I think that's how you say it, fragrance. Oh my goodness. With Chypre usually leans more masculine. Obviously all MFK is unisex, as I've stated, as y'all already know. And this fragrance I own, as well as Gentle Fluidity Gold, but obviously I wear gold way more, it's way more feminine. Silver, you know, overall does lean more masculine in terms of gentle fluidity. I don't mean the real colors in the real world. This is juniper berries, coriander, musk, amber, vanilla, nutmeg, woody notes. It's an absolutely gorgeous fragrance. Another one of those fresh and cleans. I'm telling you, it's gorgeous. Get your nose on it. Next up, we have Silver Mountain Water by Creed, which you guys know that I love. I wear this one myself along with Gentle Fluidity Silver. I wear this one pretty often. In the summertime, I can often wear it by itself, but I do love to layer this with something a little bit more feminine. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It is so freaking good. Again, you've got that burst of citrus, but it's also fresh and clean. It is so good. This is another one like Greenlee, where I said a man wears it and you just want to bury your face in his neck. It's gorgeous. This is like fresh citrus with hints of green in between and throughout. Of course, anything when you hear that burst of citrus thing is almost always going to include some bergamot. This also has mandarin in the opening. So smooth. Then you've got green tea and blackcurrant in the mid notes, some musk and some sandalwood in the base. I think I want to spray some on me. Yeah, let's do that. My nephew comes over my house harassing me every day, asking me to let him have this bottle. It's gorgeous. Yeah, this is his favorite Creed fragrance, and he likes this better than Aventus, so. Oh, the citrus in there is just blended to perfection. Oh my goodness. I love it. And the musk, it holds it so close to your skin. The sandalwood, absolutely gorgeous. 10 out of 10. So this next one is one that I discovered from House of Sillage. So I actually got their discovery kit, just trying to play around with it. I'm very familiar with House of Sillage for women. They are known for their extravagant, beautiful, breathtaking perfume bottles that are shaped like cupcakes with all this bedazzling on it, covered in Swarovski crystals. Absolutely stunning. So I was very curious to know what their men's fragrances smell like. Nobody ever talks about their men's fragrances because the cupcakes just get so much love. So with that being said, this would be a great line to dive into if you're looking for a signature scent that nobody else is wearing. This is one that not a lot of people are hip to because they just associate House of Sillage with these cupcakes, and they think that, you know, why would I want a cupcake on my dresser? The men's fragrances, the bottle looks nothing like it, okay? So let's just start there. But in the discovery kit, I had their gentlemen's collection, which had the formal, the contemporary, and the classic. I loved every single one of them, but this one right here particularly stood out. This is the formal. This is exactly like its name, not to be cliche or redundant. I know I say that a lot about these fragrances. It smells like the way the bottle looks. It smells like its name, but I mean, hey, that's the beauty of it. You hire creative directors so that you can have some cohesiveness, if that's even a word, with your bottle and the name of the scent. And the place that it takes you to. Like, fragrance is so memorable, okay? So all of that stuff plays a major role. But the formal, you have to have on a tuxedo. This is not just, you know how I said with Reflection, you have to wear a button up. No, this is not just a button up. This is a tuxedo. This is what you're wearing to a gala. This is rich and elegant, and another one of those debonair type of fragrances. This is a very luxurious fragrance. It's got a citrus cocktail in the opening. It's got like elemi, I think is how you say it, pepper and violet leaves. It's so freaking beautiful. As soon as you smell it, it just smells like a man's man, a sexy, smooth, wealthy man, a man who has a huge tie collection and puts in detail to make sure that his belt and his shoes match every time he steps out of the house. Like, the formal is that, honey, okay? In the middle notes, you have clove, you have nutmeg, sage, ginger. In the base notes, you have cedar wood, amber, sandalwood. It's just very intoxicating, okay? It is super, super good, super sexy, elegant, luxurious. Love this. Next, we have the Sexy Oriental Fougere, Lafayette Street by Bottle Number 9. If you know, you know. Really don't have to do too much talking about this one, because this is a amber vanillic scent. It's got coriander, flowers, and bergamot in the opening. It's got some amber, vanilla, ambergris, some woody notes. Oh, it's so good. Everybody knows about Lafayette Street, so it goes without saying. This one and Chez Bond are some of my favorites for men out of the Bottle Number 9 collection. I also love Astor Place. I love New York Nights. I love Greenwich Village. Like, they're gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. But Lafayette Street and Chez Bond have my heart, okay? Love that fresh, clean smell. And then the fougere that you get out of Lafayette, buy. If you don't want to spend the big bucks, I know that it is a bit expensive to buy Bottle Number 9 for it to be such a classic type of fragrance, like a very, I wouldn't even say it's linear, but it definitely, a lot of people think that it is overpriced. Like, the price point isn't necessarily worth it for the fragrance itself. I absolutely love the fragrance, that goes without saying. It's a beautiful fragrance. However, you know, I have smelled something similar before, so I do think that you could get something similar for maybe a little less. Don't shoot me for saying this, and by no means is this a dupe. I'm not sending this out to you and say get this in substitution of Lafayette Street because it smells just like it. No, I'm not saying that. But a designer fragrance that does give me the same type of vibes as Lafayette Street is the YSL Y Le Parfum. And that one came out more recently. It doesn't smell anything to me like the EDP or EDT, which in my opinion was a little too sweet for my liking. So definitely check that one out as well. That's a little honorary mention on this list. And last but not least is another Amouage fragrance. It is Enclave. Now, this is one that definitely had to grow on me. I did like it when I first smelled it, but I was confused because never in my life did I ever think I would like a minty fragrance. Like, why would I want to smell like toothpaste? Why would I want my man to smell like toothpaste, mouthwash, any of the above? Especially because my friend Raj, she loves the Dr. Bronner's peppermint body wash. I hate it. I hate it with a purple passion. I cannot stand when I spend the night over her house. Sorry, girl, I love you, but you know I tell you this all the time. I hate when I spend the night over there and she showers with it and then gets in the bed. It makes me want to freaking puke, okay? I love Dr. Bronner's. I like the lavender. I like the non-scented. I'll put on the non-scented one and then wash over it with my Dove to give myself some type of scent. But that peppermint, it's repulsive. I can't stand it, okay? So I was very scared about this. It doesn't necessarily have peppermint in it, but it has spearmint oil. And when you smell it, you're definitely immediately gonna pick up on that spearmint. Oh, but it is so gorgeous. It's just very, very unique. But this is a really, really nice one when you're looking for something unique. It's super fresh. It's invigorating because it's got like that minty kick to it. There's spicy mint, there's cardamom, there's pink pepper, patchouli, vetiver, amber, and even some leather. So it's a very dynamic fragrance. It is very well blended. It is just, it's gorgeous. I never thought that I would like this, and when I first smelled it, I was like, huh, that's interesting. But every single person that I've introduced this to, every single person, I would say about 8 out of 10 of them started off saying, I hate mint, I don't like mint in a fragrance. But out of every single person I've showed this to, they all loved it. They loved it, and they're like, wow, I didn't think I would like this. It's literally the exact reaction that I had. Ah, it's so gorgeous. But this would definitely be a head turner because people are always gonna ask me like, what is that? Like, it's so different. There is no other designer fragrance, there is no other niche fragrance that I can personally think of that gives me these vibes, that smells like this. This is its own little beauty, okay? And last but not least, I do have a little honorary mention. This is one that I discovered probably a few days ago. It is Music for a While by Frederic Malle. Oh my goodness, it is a gorgeous fragrance with a burst of pineapple and lavender. It is mind-blowing. It is absolutely mind-blowing. Of course, you know that Frederic Malle, like a lot of other niche fragrances, are unisex, but I definitely wanted to include that on this list. Definitely get your nose on it. I was blown away by it. I don't have it here with me to smell for you guys and give you my initial reaction, but ironically, my guy Fred is the one who introduced me to it. So Frederick came and brought samples and let me smell it, and I fell in love. And just like he said, you know, Portrait of a Lady gets so much talk by Frederic Malle's line, but nobody talks about Music for a While, and it is so slept on. All right, and with that being said, I'm going to wrap this up by giving you guys my top 5. Of course, Creed Aventus is number 1. Number 2 is Meteor by Louis Vuitton. They actually kind of go back and forth and play tug of war, and some days I like Meteor better. It's just so hard. They honestly might have to share the first place spot. But after that, it is Oud for Greatness by Initio, followed by Percival by Parfums de Marly, and then we have Odin Overdose by Xerjoff. And I guess that my little add-on, little honorable mention, if we're gonna say that Creed Aventus and Meteor are sharing the first place, then my 5th place / 6th place would be Greenlee by Parfums de Marly. So that is my top 5 / top 6. I'm sorry I didn't go into detail about the ones I mentioned in the beginning, the Sauvages, Bleu de Chanel, Chez Bond by Bond No. 9, Meteor by Louis Vuitton, Creed Aventus. It's just all of that stuff's in that video. So if you want some more details, more intricate note breakdowns, you can definitely check that video out. But I know that this video was longer than I even expected, so hopefully I can edit some of this out and cut it down. I'm so sorry, y'all, but I just get so into my fragrances. I get so happy and excited talking about this, and I really had to condense my list to even give y'all these, but these were some of the most phenomenal men's fragrances that I have gotten my nose on this year. So I wanted to share it with my favorite people. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it was helpful. I would love to hear in the comments what fragrances you have that you liked, any ones I mentioned that are also in your top favorites, anything I mentioned that you want to get your hands on. I would love to see what you guys think about my little list of 2021. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and I will see you in my next video.